accidentally spooked my dog. It happens every time. She lays there and expects to just never hear me, I guess. Anyways, welcome in. Today we're going to be playing more Tangle Tower. Last we left off... Ooh, where am I? There I am. Last we left off, we had just opened up a secret passage in the garden. So we'll be going through that. Seeing what we can and can. Hold on. Ooh. Spooky. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna see what we can discover within these sacred halls. So let me start the game up. How about that? Okay. Where are you? There you are. Boop, boop, boop. I guess it's going to take itself a second to open. Game, please. There it goes. Blah. I made coffee right before stream, so if you hear clinking, clanging. Alright, let's just hop straight into it, huh? Laboratory underneath. Laboratory. Okay. Bugs. Big
bugs. Big ones.
Yeah.
Looks like they're made of metal.
Metal.
Bugs.
Okay,
Looks like
she's
they're
just
made
gonna
of
say that about all of them.
A candle, perched on a barrel.
Very medieval.
I was thinking pirates.
Medieval pirates.
Fair enough.
What's in there?
Let's look at it. It's bugs.
It's a little diagram of a beetle, with some incomprehensible notes scribbled next to it.
That must be the golden beetle
That's
that we've been
weird.
looking at.
What?
It looks really normal compared to the beetles behind the glass.
It's probably, like I said, it's probably the golden.
9 beetles. All different, all dead.
I would hope so.
Poor little guys.
There's a bunch of notes written all around them. It's mostly numbers. No idea what they mean.
Interesting. Well, it's not important right now, so let's move on. Bugs.
Forensic Entomology, Volume 3.
So this has to be the guys, the professors.
That's an incredibly specific area of study. It looks like they're being boiled. But the liquid is ice cold.
Thirsty?
No.
Chemistry apparatus.
Okay.
Rows of plants, growing in wide wooden boxes.
What color is the soil?
It looks black, but it's too dark to tell.
Okay.
Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it?
Well, let's unlock it, eh? Oh dear
Weird looking
God.
safe.
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
Okay. Okay. Funny. There must, yeah. Okay. Let's see. No. Okay. Oh, this is weird. Oh, this is so weird. Oh. Gosh. No, this is... Oh. Interesting. Huh. What is this? Can I do something like this? No, because then I don't have anything here to connect them. Don't think so, at least. No, I don't have anything there. Okay. Unless I can... No, because that cuts it off. Interesting. Can I do this? No, that brings it into a full circuit loop. Okay. So I needed to get over there. Can I, wait, can I do this? Something like this? That should do it, hey!
No, that was it.
Yeah! I did it first try.
Nice work.
Yes, very nice work.
Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
Nice. Pog. Monsters? Secret research. A folder containing research notes and diagrams. Our unique flora and fauna is the byproduct of a number of as-yet unidentified chemicals. These chemicals are continually present in the water, forming clouds and filling the lake. This causes a variety of mutations in plants and animals. Smaller creatures such as arachnids, insects, mollusks, amphibians, and crustaceans are the most affected. However, the chemicals may travel up to the food chain and cause mutation in birds and reptiles. As far as we know, mammals remain completely unaffected. Interesting. Okay, I have 2 rows of... I imagine this number 4 goes into this secret research.
Whose research is this?
I mean, it can only be one person's. You know?
This is some seriously in-depth research.
That's impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a section missing.
I know it belongs there, I just figured that out myself. It's the beetle. There we go.
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Definitely
sense.
seems like he's the one using it.
He's an
I guess not a lot
entomologist.
of people
We've
know about the
established
secret
that.
entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who is he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
It looks like some of his research stuff is actually cracked in a similar way as to what we saw with the gramophone and the cassette tape. Oh, okay. I don't know if he's trying to breed it. That sounds weird. Why is there so much research on the beetle? Why is it hidden? He locked up the golden beetle in the underground laboratory. I don't think that explains it though.
Pointer
No,
locked
yeah,
up
that's not right.
almost. Maybe just change. Pointer
Oh,
has been trying to
I guess he
breed
has been
the
trying to breed
golden
it.
beetle in the underground laboratory
That was my first instinct, and I guess
Why?
it was right.
Because it's rare?
because it's gold.
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
Interesting.
Ready to go down? Again?
Yeah, let's go. I don't think there's anything else I need to look at. Oh man, it goes deeper. Still? Oh, this is the lowest, okay.
It's an old coat rack. Looks thoroughly neglected.
2 cloaks, and a green hat draped on top for good measure.
Old cardboard boxes.
How exciting.
Oh, but there's more. They're also damp and empty.
Wonderful.
Basements don't normally have windows.
We're at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed, why does it look like that?
Like what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything.
Oh, weird.
That's not what a lake looks like.
Yeah, true. Interesting.
Where are we?
Do these puddles worry you?
Why?
That's lake water, but it's indoors.
Ah, I see your point.
Okay.
We're too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why? By what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
Metal rod. Sleek but sturdy metal rod has been stabbed into a photograph. The rod has a curved and pointed tip like an arrow or the hand of a clock. It has a small loop at the back with a short length of red rope attached to it. The metal is perfectly clean and polished. Hey, this real. So I was thinking. Okay. Has someone been harpooning?
So what's the photo?
Oh. It's been framed, but it is slightly damp. Photograph shows a young girl. A large man is sitting next to her. Around them are several red and white birds. A metal object was stabbed into the photo, leaving a hole near the man's chest. So this is obviously Flora, and probably her dad, and these are the ink dip birds. Interesting.
Do you know who it is? In the photo?
Yeah. I have a theory.
A
game
single
theory.
book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
The Soul Bearer? What? Okay. Mistids of the Sea and Sky, a children's picture book. It looks very old. The Ink Dip, an elegant bird with red and white plumage. The Silver Snake, an aquatic reptile with no eyes and a long tongue. Horrifying. The Soul Bearer, a crab with 3 differently sized claws. And the Amphobe, a frog-like creature walking on 2 legs. We know there are those statues all over the place of the Amphobe.
A single book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
Why?
I think it's a children's
Oh,
book.
I already looked at the book. I was looking at the candle, my friend. Okay. Let's talk.
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with 1 candle?
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late.
Has he maybe been scraping the bed of the lake? In the photograph.
This man in the photo, he reminds me of something from one of our clues.
Is he this guy?
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
It's the dad. Lord Fellow. Or no, who was her dad?
Lord Fellow.
Really?
Wait, no, hang on.
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense
Okay,
when you
it
know
was
who
Lord
he is.
Remington.
Lord Remington.
Remington.
There we go.
That
I
makes
forgot
him
which
Flora's
one her dad
father.
was.
Meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her. See the bird, too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
Okay. What else is in this room?
This room looks old. Like, old.
It makes the rest of the house seem relatively modern.
I like the ambiance in this room.
There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can reach it.
Let me guess. Blank.
Let's find out. Oh, no, it's the floor planning.
Study. Wait,
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never went in there.
how did we miss it?
True.
The rooftop garden. That name makes a little more sense in this context.
Yeah.
A bedroom.
Penny's room, I think.
So this is before the construction of the separate family towers. This is the original building plans. Misted Mansion.
Misted Mansion. North side cross-section. Is it not Tangle Tower?
Tangle Tower. Before the towers?
A bedroom.
That's Fifi's room, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Grand Hall.
What's that thing in the middle?
I think it's that big glass tube.
It could be an elevator. Oh, it's probably an elevator.
Music room. It's the aviary.
The library.
Because there's no other entrance to the study.
Storage.
It's Freya's room.
The rooftop garden. That
Oh.
name makes a little more... It's the aviary. That's the room we're in now. It must be.
Yeah.
It's not labeled as anything on these plans, though.
I think it already existed when this was made.
And I imagine this is where the seafloor was, yeah?
It's the room above us. The one we were just in.
The laboratory?
Yeah.
And that's the lake, right? I think that horizontal line might be the water level.
Yeah.
It used to be a lot lower down than it is now.
And that's the lake, right?
It used to be a lot lower.
Okay. I don't think there's anything else in here.
This seems pretty significant.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There's a whole lot of mystery there. Misted Mansion North Side Cross Section. A roll of parchment on which the plans for a grand mansion have been drawn. A horizontal line marks where the lake was before, and a second marks where it is now. The mansion has been built on top of a large structure above the lake, supported by pillars. Freya's room is listed as storage. A room labeled study is in the center.
Let's head back up to the Grand Hall. I want to find that last room.
Let's go. There's nothing else down here from what I know. Oh, it's dark.
Wow, it's dark all of a sudden.
How long were we down there?
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
How are we supposed to get up there?
Hang on, it's pitch black, but I think there's a switch.
Let's pull it. Oh, shit.
A ladder.
Want to go up?
Absolutely. Let's go. There it is, the study. Oh, my ears. The hidden heart. Let's go. This is a cool room. You kidding me?
Dragon?
Snake?
Worm?
That's the one.
Yeah. It's
Is
the
that a
soul
crab?
bearer.
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You can actually see its insides.
Oh, that's
Also,
cool.
crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3? You sure we should be touching it?
Yes, I love
Gamor,
touching things.
Don't you think it looks familiar?
Yeah, it's from the book. Claws can be opened or closed. Oh, wait, I should... the sound! Are you kidding me? God, the sound. I feel like it's gotta be imitating the book, right? Hold on, let me...
This crab really...
That little wooden...
Yeah, but I don't think I think I've seen it more recently.
Wooden toy? We found a wooden toy of the crab? Oh, this. Yeah. But, the one I want is this. Okay.
Is that a...
It's got
Also, crabs...
God, the sound.
I guess that's
I don't
wrong.
think we need
What do you
to.
mean?
We have all the information we need
Yeah,
in our
I know.
case file.
Hold on.
Nothing.
I'm sure I've seen this thing.
Do I have the pose wrong? Oh god, the sound. The crunching. It's crazy.
This crab really...
That little-
Yeah, I
Hold
think
on.
I've seen it more
I
recently.
need to look at the picture again. Because I don't know if I can get it exactly in the right position. No, okay, I was just doing it wrong.
They call
What would
stuff of doom. Is
Of
that a
doom.
crab?
It's got a-
Also, crab...
I have it now, though.
I guess that's
I
wrong.
don't think
What
we
do you
need.
mean?
We have all the information we need in our case.
Perfect.
There we go. My memory, little shaky. Crossbow?
What's this?
Something somebody didn't want us to find.
Okay. A whole crossbow. And I know what to do with the crossbow too, because the reel goes here, and then the string and the arrow. I get it.
What is it?
I just want to put that together already. A weapon.
Was someone trying to hide it?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
We have them.
We found them already. I think that might attach, but not this part.
Really? On the top. Oh, this. Okay. Oh, it's a scope? Okay. There it is. Completed crossbow.
What do you make of it?
Not sure. Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon. But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery.
Okay.
It's a wooden pinboard, hung up on one of the chains.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
Oh, hey, that's Hawkshaw. Large central sheet of paper has been pinned to it. 4 lines have been drawn from a gap in the center. Smaller sheet underneath features a drawing resembling the silhouette of a cloaked figure. It's absolutely Hawkshaw. I'm just gonna say
An
that.
axe and some kind of hunting rifle, mounted on the wall.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved in a few years.
I'm more worried about the third one.
The third one?
The one that isn't there.
Yeah, that's where the crossbow would be. I can tell.
They called this room a study?
What would you call it?
The secret death chamber of doom. A wooden stool.
Cool.
Centipede? Millipede? How many legs has it got?
Too many.
Who are all the people in this photo?
Not sure, but it looks like someone didn't like them very much. Their eyes have all been crossed out.
Oh, lovely. Oh, these must be the original founders of the house. No, because that's Poppy. Okay. A photograph in a sturdy wooden frame. It's dusty and looks several years old. A brass plaque at the bottom of the frame reads, "The Ambassadors of Misted Mansion." Photo shows 2 women and 3 men wearing a variety of different styles of clothing. All 5 people have had their faces crudely covered with black ink. Well, it looks like Poppy. The Ambassadors. This is probably the Professor Pointer. Interesting.
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
An incinerator built into the wall. It's still pretty hot.
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes. But yeah, there's something.
Oh, the feather. Not much more than a pile of dust and ash. Among the ashes are several black buttons and red-colored scraps of fabric that are still visible. Interesting.
Those aren't bird cages.
Some of them are disconcertingly large.
At least they're all empty.
You sure that's a good thing? You know, in any
I
normal
like this
room,
little
this thing
creature.
would be my main concern. In here, though, it barely makes the top 3.
Okay. Let's talk. Well,
Some kind of fish and a bird skull, I guess?
If that's a bird skull, we're talking about a 15-foot bird here.
Well, how about we stop talking about it?
okay, let's talk. 5 people.
Another photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
Interesting. It does look a lot like Felix, but the beard is different, I think. Is there anything else in this room? Oh, this note.
Coffee table,
Maybe.
half-empty wine bottle, lamp left on. I'm gonna say someone's been using this room.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
Okay, yeah. Several pages have been ripped out, but a few remain. 5th ambassador located, finally. Can't say I harbored any optimism, but still somehow disappointed. No better than the rest of them. Took my misted friend into the music room for experiments. It works. Perhaps too well. The laboratory was another disappointment. All of that effort for what? He's even more short-sighted than I could have guessed. Went to the bottom. Nice view. It's been mostly cleaned out, but I have what I need. She got in. She was careful. Nothing was moved. But I know. It's time. That's ominous.
Someone's been using this room.
Yeah, I'd say. The study.
I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion. But nowadays it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
Let's see. What could be... This drawing of, Hawkshaw. Yeah. And then this... maybe this one. Yeah, this.
The painting from Freya's room and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference.
Wait a second. That looks like Hawkshaw. The painting does. And that's from Freya's dreams. So there's something going
As for
on.
those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else. Someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
I'm not sure. We still don't know what's really going on.
Okay. Oh, my ears. The murder. The thing that we're here for in the first place.
Time to solve this.
Yeah, let's figure this out. Machinations of murder.
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
I mean, we know there's a hole in the ceiling here. But it was facing in front of her.
It was fired from in front of Freya.
Wait, I'm confused.
Me
No,
too.
okay, so it was from the top.
So where was it
Okay.
fired from?
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait. The arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope. Doesn't add up.
Because
Would've
she
missed
needed
her
reason to be laying
if she was
down.
still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless
She was already laying
Freya
on
was
her back.
already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
Maybe she was unconscious.
She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
The gramophone? Or the gramophone. I saw paint fumes at the same time as I was talking.
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
It was the music being played.
It was the music being played.
What?
Let's try that again.
But the
Or-
gramophone by itself can't do that.
Something in the gramophone?
There was something in the gramophone.
Something small.
Okay. I mean, hiding. It was this tape.
That's not it.
It was hiding in the gramophone. Something that would make her fall unconscious. Hiding in the gramophone. I might just start testing stuff now, but maybe I doubt it's the beetle. Oh,
Pointer's research
It
says
was.
it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
It might
No.
be.
I
No?
don't think so, not by itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. Now, I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't. But I think someone else does. Do
Mm.
you remember that statue we found in the music room? The
Oh,
hornet's playing.
yeah.
It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too.
What, the tape or... Oh yeah, her paint.
Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously powerful vibration, enough to crack metal, enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off?
Yeah, what about the
Wouldn't
person?
they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than
know.
Flora was.
I know why. They protected themselves.
They protected themselves.
They had the earmuffs that was on the statue. Where is it? Which one? Here.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah, what triggered it at that particular moment?
Maybe.
Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora
Maybe
are
the
both
feather.
knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it. There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene.
Okay. Let's go. Up to the tower. Oh, okay. I thought she was gonna tell me what was bothering her.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
Floor's not holding a knife. Ink dip. Okay, that's just old information.
The plant. It's in the book.
What?
Look.
Yeah? Tantum amica.
It's dark.
Too dark. The paints. The gramophone.
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
Why was there blood in the bottle?
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink-dip feather?
It was here. In this room. Where'd it go?
It was in the incinerator. We found it.
We found it somewhere else.
Amazing that it didn't completely burn up. It is just a feather.
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene. And ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here.
The egg? The final clue.
It's inside Flora's egg.
You think so?
Maybe not. Freya
No.
left it for us right here. It's in the gramophone.
You think so?
Never mind.
Maybe not. Freya
Okay.
left it for us right here.
What's in
It's
the unfinished
the
painting?
unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still. It's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it. Then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it. But she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
Okay. How did she show us her intentions for the painting? This one?
That's not it.
No. Her intentions for the painting. I don't know what this means. How did she show us her intentions for the painting? With the blood?
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
Okay. I mean, that's usually how it works, but... The blood... was... Oh. It was going to be used to paint the feather. Dropped by the ink
The
dipper?
blood was
No.
going to be used. Nope.
Not... Blood on that was going to be used to paint the wingtip feather.
Blood on the brush. That's not right.
Did Freya plan to paint something in the bottom right corner? Oh, this plant? This yellow paint, maybe? Bottom right. Yeah? Maybe?
The yellow paint
Okay.
was going to be used to paint the sketch of something sitting in the window.
Something in the window. Oh.
Something yellow in the window of Flora's tower. Maybe one of the birds? I mean, it's very obviously not a... Oh, the beetle.
That's not it.
No? Something yellow. One of the birds? I guess. Oh! A bellow bird. How are you doing?
There she is. Our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did,
Hi, Hawkshaw.
but she's a very good listener.
Hi.
Well now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
Huh? Hello? Who are you? Penelope?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention?
Penny? I guess I should tie you up. Something sturdy to tie your hands with. I guess the rope.
Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
Justice for Freya.
Justice for Freya.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy, the volition to create something from nothing, the willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer?
I knew that the one woman in the picture with the 5 people looked really familiar, and I was like, it looks a lot like Penny. Weird. I guess here we go then. She's lonely. Nope.
Suppose I can't argue with that,
No,
can
okay.
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
I? Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing, and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy. Not one.
Doesn't seem like it,
So
no.
why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other 2 Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose, too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
Is? Not was? The study?
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end. The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore.
That's haunting as a
I
child.
found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside.
Okay. The era of Misted Mansion.
Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
Kind of. Yeah.
Mistids? Sure, yeah.
You're more observant than I thought.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids, like cryptids, like Bigfoot or whatever.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
Okay. Interesting. Something Penny found in the study that answered her questions. The research?
That's not it.
No. It was in the study. What questions? This?
That's not right.
The 5
There
missing
you go.
family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era, denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mistids. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5 completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision.
Okay. I don't know how I was supposed to suspect her. I keep trying to think about that. I don't know if I was supposed to or not. I didn't really catch on to it. If so. Okay, let's continue on.
There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
It was the beetle.
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure, but I theorized that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
Ha! It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique?
Yeah.
Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
Yes, please enlighten me. I have no idea where the story's going right now. The Will of Freya Fellow. The Will. Okay, tell me more.
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
Yeah. Yeah, I gathered that much. This one.
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona.
Fiona.
The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya.
Was it for
It
Flora?
was for Flora.
Yeah.
She didn't deserve to be involved.
Yeah.
She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of the room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back.
Oh, okay.
I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's
Of
still
course.
inside the gramophone.
Couldn't be anywhere else. Oh, the bird. Oh no. Oh, the bird took it. Oh, hey guys. Oh, she took the boat. Oh no. Like I said.
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fit saved both of you, obviously.
When
Yes,
I
thank you.
reached
That's-
Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us because he liked Penny
Of
a
course.
lot.
Yeah. Of
But
course.
what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she
Whoa.
survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my
These
room.
squint,
But by the time
she
I got
did.
out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I
like
apologize.
Poppy.
Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So,
His
Penny
smile.
got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
Oh,
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
that means she'll probably
Poppy?
be back.
What are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again.
Good idea, Poppy.
I think that's what she would have wanted.
Yeah. Freya, that is. Okay. And that's just the end. Is it? Oh, Rain, it's okay. Rain. Hi, baby girl. Hi. Hi, baby. Hello. Hi, Rain. Do you want to say hello? Do you want to say hello? Hi. Dog has come to visit me at my side. Hi, baby girl. Man, that bug is making quick work. SFB games. Oh, there it goes. That was really fun. I like that animation a lot. Okay. And that's it. Okay. Well, we did it. We beat the game. I want to look at her profile. Oh! Ooh, I like this concept art. Birds playing with strands of hair. Okay. Let's look at the art gallery. I love looking at the art. I feel like there's supposed to be more here. It's all the clues. Okay, let's look through this concept art. Grimoire is tricky to get right, as he needs to be a flexible mix of silly and heroic, lighthearted and dramatic. He has a somewhat pretentious manner, projecting the persona of someone more experienced than he actually is. Importantly, he can be totally sincere when he wants to be. Man, look at that one. That one's my favorite, I think. One of the challenges of Grimoire's design is his color palette. Brown, brown, and brown. He doesn't need to be a super colorful character. In fact, it's important to have contrast between the different characters. Still, look closely and you'll notice he's actually comprised of various pinks masquerading as browns. Oh yeah. With it said, I can actually... Yeah. Oh, cool. Big hair. Detective Grimoire was probably one of the more difficult characters to develop, as there was already a strong identity that existed in the previous games. I felt like he still needed to be the friendly, approachable gumshoe, so I tried to stick around to round, gentle shapes while still exaggerated his features. I wanted to work towards an iconic silhouette. Yeah, silhouettes are really important on character design if you want it to be a memorable looking character. I wanted to really make sure I had a good grasp on how Grimoire looked from different angles before I tackled his animation. He's got a bit of a penchant for performance and overwrought gestures, and I think a lot of his personality comes out in his movements. That said, I never want to draw his bouncing hair again. Okay. We're just gonna go through the character concept art, by the way. I'm not going through all these clues. Maybe I'll look at the locations, but I probably won't read anything on the excerpts. Hi! Oh, I will hydrate. I will drink water. Thank you for the redeem. Ah. Ah. Just going through the art. Just beat the game, so. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Drink water, drink water. Sally appeared in the previous game with her hair down her back in a long plait. However, when redesigning her for this game, I quickly realized this made for a really cluttered silhouette, so I changed it to the bunches. A key aspect of Sally's face is her eyeshadow, accentuating her slightly unimpressed default facial expression. I like characters who wear those little jackets. To me, they give off a modern, adventurous energy, so I thought that would be a good outfit for Sally. Sally's personality expanded for this game. Her starting point is slightly bored, but just beneath the surface she has a great deal of passion for detective work, and life in general. This one, the wide stance. These drawings show Sally still wearing her hair from the style from the previous game, although Catherine has already started looking for ways to give it a stronger silhouette. Wait, who's that in the bottom right corner? A creature. These are designs from a much older version of the game, long before it became Tangle Tower. You can see how both Sally and Grimoire are about halfway towards their Tangle Tower redesign. Excuse me. An early story idea was to include the little girl in the team. Obviously, we changed our minds. Sally was a tricky one to get right. She tends to understate her actions, but isn't above throwing a little bit of pretentiousness. I like to think she's mocking how Grimoire indulges in theatrical gestures. I think the payoff is worth the effort though, as she's one of the characters whose animations I'm most pleased with. Yeah, this is just me looking through concept art after finishing the game. That's like one of my favorite things to do, because I'm big into art, so seeing concept sketches is like my favorite part of a post-game, like anything. And it's, I love it. I love it so much. I love looking through art. I found the right shape for Flora really early on, and she set the tone for how weird the character design could be, how far we could stretch them away from typical human anatomy. Flora wears a simple black dress with absolutely no details at all. In fact, she exists entirely in monochrome, which hints at the bleak and mournful world in which she inhabits. Yeah, horror. I love horror, games, and art. I don't play many horror games by myself. But I do enjoy them. Since Flora was a very quiet and reserved character, I felt like I wanted to show that in her design too. Adam's original sketches of her were very inspiring, and we didn't really move far away from them. I really wanted to explore Flora's warm side, as her character felt quite steely and ghost-like. I like this one. Flora is an incredibly rigid character with minimal movement and poses. I really wanted to figure out a way to give her more energy and variety without losing this stoic appearance, including small hand gestures. I made a particular sketch with her hair flowing in the wind, and this became a great way to make her more animated. I will hydrate. Flora moves less than anyone, but her one big animation is definitely the heaviest in the whole game. Excuse me. Thankfully, I'm a real sucker for flapping hair and fabric, so I relished an excuse to go all out and make it really character-defining. Please go and talk to her as much as possible so you can see it again and again. So much hydration. Whoa, who's this? Our main idea with Felix was that he still stubbornly wears his adventurer outfit, even though he's stuck indoors. I wanted Felix to look powerful, but somewhat gone to seed with age. Early on, he was a sailor and had more nautical elements in his design. That's funny. I don't know why this one is particularly funny to me. Oh, this is very different from the first sketches. This design for Felix very nearly made it into the final game. We thought the big pompadour was fun since it looks like a wave or the hull of a ship. Then one day I decided I didn't like his face, so it totally changed. Fun fact, Felix's dark green trousers are based on my own favorite trousers. Oh, very nice. Yeah, it's still so different from the final design. Felix is a washed-up old explorer, so I wanted to first understand what he may have looked like in his youthful prime, and what the older Felix may be trying to hold on to. I reference good-looking actors from old adventure movies, slick hair, chiseled jawline, and arching eyebrows. I enjoyed aging him up from this. Felix always had a nautical theme from the start, so I experimented with old sailor tattoos that could potentially animate during dialogue scenes. This was a little out of the scope in the end, but more simplified tattoos remained a part of the final design. Yeah. Having animated tattoos, that would be so much. I mean, with art, it's just a matter of, like, practice. You know? Like, I've been drawing since I was pretty young. Not, like, consistently or in a way that's like, oh, I want this to be, like, my job. But, I feel like, I do pretty well. It's not the best, not the worst, you know? I'm pretty middling when it comes to art. Haven't drawn in a hot second, though. So I'm probably out of practice a little bit now. Hand doesn't have the same, muscle memory. Felix has a tricky and very specific head shape, so I spent some time figuring out from different angles first. Yeah, look how this is so different. Just immediately. Oh, this is more akin to the final design. Or this is the final design, actually. He was the second character I animated, and we used him as a testing ground for a lot of the technical challenges we'd face going forward. Also, tattoos are really annoying to animate. Yeah. I can imagine on that one. Yeah, that's one of my drawings. All the emotes I drew myself. So that one I made on a whim, and it's so funny. I love it. I love the creature. Oop. Man, that one's cool. I like the implementation of like an actual photo of a oh god, what are they called? Microscope. Fifi was initially conceived as a character who would remain sitting down while you talked to her. I figured it would be fun to have her fiddle with her microscope or organize papers on her desk. Eventually I changed my mind, but perhaps this is why Fifi is so short. Chicken manager? What? Oh, look at these! I love Fifi. She looks like such a goblin. Fifi's eyes ended up on the sides of her head. Combined with the shape of her hair, I always thought this made her look a bit like a rhinoceros. Fifi's eye lens was going to have an elaborate telescopic zoom function, but this kind of gimmick has a habit of getting cut from the game. Oh, these ones are cool. Lenses and microscopes were a big facet of Fifi's character, so it felt natural to incorporate that within her design, giving her a large lens to wear over one eye. It lent itself well to her looking like an eccentric inventor. Her hair is large and outgrown, tied half-heartedly into a bun. She doesn't care too much for her appearance. A bonk? The sleeve full of things. A screwdriver. I like this concept. The little creature. Fifi's big baggy sleeves became quite a dominant feature of her design, as I wanted to add a sloppy, childlike quality to her, to make her look less professional. That's how the gag for storing items in her lab coat started to appear. Fifi was the first character I animated, as we knew she was going to be quite limited in her movements. For example, Adam mandated that she doesn't turn her head on her shoulders. She's not one for theatrics. That said, we planned for some fun animations with that beaker, but they didn't really fit anywhere, so we omitted them, rather. Okay. Fifi is such a goblin. Hold on. This one? Front-facing Fifi. I love it. Okay. The point of Hawkshaw, initially, is to provide a contrast with Grimoire. Where Grimoire is friendly, open, and emotionally reactive, Hawkshaw is blunt, stern, and emotionally closed off. As a detective, Hawkshaw is a perfectionist, so her design is all sharp angles and clean lines. She never wastes any energy, even keeping her arms hidden under her cloak unless she needs them. Detective Grimoire's is much more accomplished rival, Hawkshaw, is the polar opposite to him. Stern, incredibly smart, and professionally intimidating. I imagined her turning her nose up at Grimoire like she's too good for his company. She uses snappy movements that feel almost mechanically efficient. Everything about Hawkshaw is sharp and correct. The long, buttoned-up neck became a defining feature of Hawkshaw, making her seem uptight and rigid. As she developed, she started to look more and more like a villain from a 90s cartoon, and we are okay with that. I like her. I like Hawkshaw. Her cape was a great excuse for me to flex my fabric animating skills. I love contrasting her stiff neck and shoulder piece with the billowing cloth. Her poses in-game seem quite limited when you compare them to each other, but I think they do a lot of work in bringing across her haughty, confident personality. That's so many emotes. So many. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Specifics of Freya's character took a while to emerge, but from the earliest point I knew I wanted her to be open-minded, and a bit of a hippie. Freya exists in a slightly different space from the other inhabitants. She is very aware of the wider world outside the house. This makes her something of an outsider, even though she is very popular within Tangle Tower. We know this is closer to her final design. Freya wears a white dress to suggest the purity of her soul. Importantly, it's splattered with color from her paint, suggesting she's not afraid of making a mess and going against convention. In the final design, her dress became more of a tunic with a high-waisted belt and long sleeves. I like to think this makes Freya look a little bit like a wizard. Curious, brave little painter. When I made concepts, I didn't want a stereotypical depiction of an artist, but I couldn't resist the paint splotches. Splodges. Okay. I based her initial sketches off bohemian art students I used to see when I was studying art. Eventually, we needed her to feel younger, so this effect became more subtle. At one point, I tried to give her a paint blob-like bun, but in the end, this felt too close to Fifi's hairstyle. It was important that all three of the younger girls of Tangle Tower felt visually different. Tried out a green bob and it stuck. Never ended up doing any animation of Freya, but I drew these because she's actually one of my favorite character designs in the game. As I'm sure you'll find out, there's a good deal more to her than just murder victim. Yeah. She is a fun-looking design, though. Okay. Oh, interesting. This version of Fitz. Fitz was conceived as an insect character, butterflies in particular. Later on, he became the gardening character, which is similarly associated with someone quiet and delicate. I wanted Fitz to be super handsome and cool, but in an incidental way. He contrasts with Felix and Pointer in that he has a very subdued ego. I love Fitz's design. Of course, I also just like himbos, so I like big men. Catherine and I really enjoyed the image of a big, muscular man using tiny gardening tools. However, none of those poses made it into the final game. Fitz kept his little glasses right up into production, but after I received Josh Tomar's excellent voice samples, I realized Fitz was becoming more emotionally vulnerable, so I took the glasses away. More precise for finish, or for something. Fitz was described to me by Adam as someone who was accidentally good-looking. Started to think about those poster boys from boy bands in the 90s, and knew I had to try out some classic curtained hair on him. I made Fitz overly muscular because I love the idea of him seeming like this gentle giant who is intimidatingly large and potentially threatening. When Fitz had glasses, I had a lot of fun imagining him lurking in the shadows, his round, cold spectacles staring back at you. I think there are probably more drawings of Fitz on this slide than actual frames of animation in the game. Ultimately, it worked best for him to be almost creepily static. He's a kind soul, but has trouble around people, so limiting his movements helped make him come across as tense and uncomfortable. I like Fitz. I like him a lot. This one? He looks so much like a bird. he's just got a bird skull. Pointer was conceived as a fairly traditional professor archetype, sort of person who would have a garden shed full of half-finished inventions. At this stage in the process, I wasn't sure what kinds of shapes to use. I just knew I wanted Pointer to be short and spindly so that his physicality would contrast with that of his rival, Felix Fellow. Okay, here's a more. This is closer to the final game. By this point, we had landed on an idea of Pointer being a spaced-out astronomy professor with an airy, philosophical manner. He was given large eyes for staring into space and long arms for making sweeping gestures. His hair is designed to resemble a book, a roof, and a bad wig all at the same time. I did catch the roof part of that. An academical-looking astronomer with a faraway look in his eyes. He's hiding a few secrets, so I wanted him to seem distrusting and slightly slimy. I also imagined someone who looked like he may lecture at a British university, so a lot of tweed clothes. I even tried hair that looked like a book resting on his head. These ones are cool. Okay. As an astronomer, I envisioned Pointer rapidly tinkering around with his many mechanical apparatus, and I started to think about how his fingers would seem as clickety-clackety as his equipment. I loved the idea of his fingers feeling spider-like, adding to his creepy undertones. Pointer is probably the character who's most similar to me, and I love drawing his kooky, pretentious arm waves. The globe was going to be a prop, but one of several things that just didn't fit and got left out. Also thinking on that thing on his head. Hair, a book, or a birdhouse roof. It is a mystery. I noticed the final look we got at Penny, she had like a similar hair texture. Speaking of, I thought it'd be fun if Penny had multiple birds about her person, with whom she can speak during conversations with Grimoire, perhaps even interrupting her mid-sentence. This eventually boiled down to one bird on top of her head, and instead of talking to it, the joke became that Penny simply treats it as if it were a normal hat. So it is a real bird. Okay. This one. I love her. Penny is a complex character. At this stage in the design process, I was focused on her duality as both a cool, elegant femme fatale and a pouty, petulant young woman. Penny's outfit is quite simple, inspired by 1950s high fashion. However, her giant bird gloves accentuate any gestures she chooses to make with her arms, giving her an inescapably melodramatic and hammy energy, which I adore. She's Tangle Tower's femme fatale, so we really lent into that. Imagined her as a very glamorous and privileged woman from the 1950s. A lot of her style is reminiscent of that period. As the bird-themed character, Adam originally designed her to have a bird in her hair, which I then styled onto her like a fancy hat. This one, I like this version of the bird. Oh, not the birds, please. Okay. I love the idea that Penny could be composed but drop the facade and become sinister. There's a sketch of her reading a book surrounded by birds, and then slamming that book shut mid-sentence, scaring them away. I like that one. Penny has ended up being a real fan favorite. I like to think my animation plays a part in that. For sure. The animation on Penny was so fun. She's probably the most emotive of the cast, so bringing that out in her animations was really important. Her weird wing-armed sleeves were a challenge to move convincingly, but I think it was worth it. It looks so cool. Oh, Poppy. My first concept for Poppy was someone who really doesn't want to talk to you. Instead, she resolutely faces her piano, protected by a shroud of hair that falls all the way to the floor. All this adds up to give a ghostly appearance, and by extension, Poppy's music room became something you might find in a haunted mansion. I spent a while trying to find the right shapes for Poppy's head and face. For some reason, the moment it began to work for me was I gave her the little snake-like nose. Crucial detail of Poppy's design is the single ear poking out. I think it gives her a little bit of much needed humanity and vulnerability. Since Poppy was a shy, grungy / gothic teenager, I started with sketches where I was mopey, badly postured, and very purple. Adam's original sketches included really long hair, and I liked that it felt like gravity was pulling her downward. Her hair started to look like a thick curtain, which felt appropriate for her gothic theming. Poppy's poses always center around sitting at the piano, so to bring some more personality to her, I played with the idea that her long locks could be used in inventive ways. Since she's so reserved, I imagined she would use her hair as a device to veil herself from other people, rarely ever revealing herself. Oh, these... the umbrella? Oh, that's cool. Poppy was simultaneously one of my favorite and least favorite characters to draw, as her hair was great fun to animate, but also took absolutely ages. It was very important to me that have the right weight and softness to it. Also, I referenced some actual video of the piano player who plays her theme for that particular animation. Okay, and now we're back at the start of the characters. Whoops. So I'll just like click through the locations. I won't read everything here. I just want to look at the art. Oh, sketches. Uncomfortable amount of faceless mannequins. Yeah. Any faceless mannequins in a personal bedroom is probably too much. Don't know if that's a hot take or what. That's a fruit. Oh, that's cool. The doorway. Oops. Whoops. Wrong. Very wrong. Whoops. But yeah, like I said, I won't go through the... Oh. A little table. I won't go through the actual clue art on stream. I'll probably look at them on my own time, but... Yeah, the art direction in this is so cool. Oh, this one? I don't know why I like this so much. It's probably the color choice. Oh man, the detail of the, like, what's on the roof, too? I think that's the first... Yeah, that was Freya's room again. Okay. Yeah, there's just too much clues for me to look through them on stream. Yeah, this is a cool game. I love the art. I love it so much. I, personally, want to know more about the actual misfits, like the actual creatures, because, of course. But, oh, it's so cool. I like this game. I like it a lot. I don't know how I was supposed to predict that twist at the end, that it was Penny. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't paying attention enough? That's probably what it is. Since I do take like several days between like recordings, streams of this, it's probably that I just had too much time apart from the game to like conclusively add it all up together before it actually happened. But it is what it is. So, that was Tangle Tower. It was a good game. Oh, big stretch. Yeah, I liked it a lot. Like I said, love, absolutely adore the art and the animations. They're so cool. I admire them greatly. And yeah, I just really like this game. So with that, I'll probably be done with stream. I will try to get out a schedule by the end of the day. If not, it will be out tomorrow for next week. And man, so the end of Tangle Tower, and then next week it's gonna be the last episode of The Wolf Among Us. I gotta find new games to play. I gotta work some stuff out. I guess it'll be a surprise as to whatever's on the schedule. I was trying to look last night, but I didn't really see anything in my, like, library. Maybe... I have a ton of games at my disposal. We'll see. It'll be a treat, whatever it is. Okay. But, until next stream, go off, have yourself some food, like late lunch, early dinner, something, or just even a snack. Get yourself some water, and go sit down with another video, or if there's another streamer you want to watch, go over to them. And till next time, I will see you.